All right, so we're getting ready for LFA at Sioux Falls again. You've done LFA a bunch of times before. How many times have you fought LFA?
A large majority of my career has been fought with LFA. I want to say it was at least 4 of my several amateur fights, and then this will be my second professional bout with them. So yeah, I've been fortunate.
Yeah. So it's crazy. You've had, pretty much all your fights have been on bigger promotions. It's been like LFA, you had a fight in B2, you had fights in 2 fights in Bellator or 1 fight in Bellator?
Well, it was technically 1 fight in Bellator because I was the only fighter on that. I originally was supposed to make my professional debut for Bellator, and I was the only fighter on the card that tested positive for COVID during the quarantine.
2 negatives after that, though.
2 negatives after that, yes. But during the quarantine, I want to say intermission, but that's not the right word. But I was the only one who tested positive, so unfortunately didn't get the fight that time. But signed twice, but fought once for Bellator.
Sure. So we're coming into like a week and a half left. Weight probably is the biggest concern right now, you think, or what's?
A little bit. I don't, at this point, I try to take just kind of day by day. Nothing's really a huge concern right now. I think my weight's in a pretty good spot, speaking of weight in general. More or less, it's more, how's the body feeling? Am I feeling too beat up? Do I need a day off? That kind of thing. Yeah, not too many whole concerns at the moment. Everything's still kind of easily fixable at this point if something were weight wise, body wise. So we're in a good spot, I think.
And more what I say about that is like your technique and everything is already kind of figured out. Your strategy is kind of, we're getting there now. It's just worrying about that last portion of it. So
exactly.
So the last fight that you had, it was really weird because I felt like you won that fight. You actually gave a guy a nice little gash that required stitches there in the 3rd round, and the round that you lost, which is crazy to me because for me on the judging side, I look at it as like effective striking, effective ground control, and one of the paramounts of effective striking is damage. And so that was really hard for me to wrap my head around like how you lost that. So what was your thoughts on the whole deal, and how did you kind of overcome that?
The story I've been kind of telling people is that at the end of the bout, when everything was said and done, especially since I did land that big blow that cut him open in that 3rd round, I kind of sealed like a semi, 80% takedown in a position where I was, another 10 seconds I would have finished. So standing up after the bout was all said and done, I was super confident that I was going to get my name read. I think looking back and then, kind of assessing from there, there's always, I guess, little things here and there. But at the time in that moment, I felt super confident in the performance I put on and how I felt in there. And, kudos to that guy for, at least doing what the judges felt he needed to do. Tough guy in his own right. But, it's just kind of one of those things sometimes. A plus B doesn't always equal C. And unfortunately, things just didn't go my way.
Right. So then now this will be your 4th pro fight, right?
4th professional fight.
So you're 1, 2, and 1, right?
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Yep.
For some reason I thought you had a.
Nope. Just because again that foot it is technically I guess my 5th signed bout.
Right.
Because that one fell through. So
sure.
I don't know if you want to call it a nothing or a no contest, whatever.
So differences for this camp, like I feel like your striking has gotten really quite a bit better. I feel like that's something you're grappling. I always feel like it's really paramount, and I feel like striking is now just the point where we're always trying to work on that and get that better. But it's definitely this time, you were talking about it earlier, some of the coordination drills, you feel like those have really helped a little bit that we've brought in from like the USA boxing side. But talk to me a little bit about the striking side for you and the improvements there.
Well, first off, that would be the first thing that I would credit to giving me a little more focus in my striking ability is those coordination drills, just making sure things are a little more aligned, making sure if I am throwing with power that I have my form and my posture there with me, not being the guy that's wheeling these punches and missing and then falling off balance and running into other things. That's always been an issue of mine in the past with striking, is feeling like I'm running into things more so than like actually like getting set up and hit with things. Right. I'm losing my posture, my balance, maybe going in for those takedowns a little too hard. So I really think those little tiny things, keeping my elbows in and down, making sure, chin tucked, balance and everything, and then combining that with my grappling ability. Leading into that, I've kind of recently reconnected with my college wrestling coach, Tom Meester, who's a multi-time national champion. So it's been good to get back to kind of my core wrestling ability and getting the good grinds with him, as well as continuing just to work with my jiu-jitsu, which, like you said, we always feel really confident in.
Yeah. So, any other folks you'd like to thank, or any things that you'd like to bring up through this?
Generally with these things, I'm kind of bare bones in it through camp and things of that with work and being able to balance things. So there's a long list of people to thank, but of course, my coaches, Tom Meester, again, for letting me reach out to him and getting some good training with him, the Augustana wrestling team, my coaches, Bruce and Lucas, my main training partner, Brett By, and just all the people that, have slight influences. Again, the list goes on, but there are many people that have just slight influences, whether it's in the gym or out of the gym, that just kind of lend a great help into making sure I can put forth all my effort toward training.
Yeah, that's awesome. A lot of people don't realize that. I mean, you're working weeks on end to perfect something for 15 minutes in one night in April. So it's kind of crazy. Get 4, maybe 5 times a year to showcase that. And you really hope that everything culminates really well on that night. I think it will.
Mm-hmm.
I've been, like I said, super impressed with the level of dedication that you have in here, and then also the level of improvement that you got. So awesome. I look forward to April 14th, right? So
April 14th, next Friday.
Next Friday. If you get a chance, buy the tickets on, if you go to Instagram, or if you go to Facebook, you should be able to find those on our link tree, and then buy those tickets on there. Thank you guys very much.